Mythologically, Native American stories vary by tribe. The Cherokee see the moon eaten by a frog, while the Lakota view it as a sign of change. As the clock ticks toward September 7, 2025, the world prepares for a total lunar eclipse, the blood moon, casting a crimson glow across the night sky. For Americans, this celestial event holds a special resonance, particularly through the lens of Native American mythologies, where the moon's transformation has inspired stories passed down through generations. These oral traditions, rich with meaning, enrich the cultural heritage of the United States, connecting modern viewers to the land's first peoples and their profound bond with the cosmos. Among the Cherokee of the Southeast, the blood moon tells a tale of cosmic struggle. Their mythology speaks of a giant frog that leaps into the sky to devour the moon, its jaws cloaking the lunar surface in blood-red darkness. This act disrupts the natural order, prompting the Cherokee to gather, chant, and beat drums to scare the frog away, restoring the moon's light. Set against the forested hills of North Carolina or Tennessee, where their ancestors thrived, this narrative reflects a deep respect for balance in nature, a value that echoes in American environmental movements today. The 2025 eclipse, partially visible at dawn in the southeast, invites reflection on this ancient wisdom. In the vast Great Plains, the Lakota see the blood moon as a harbinger of change. Their moon, Hanwi, a sacred feminine guardian, turns red during an eclipse, signaling shifts in the world, be it seasonal transitions or spiritual awakenings. Elders once gathered under the Dakota skies, sharing these stories around fires, teaching resilience and adaptation. For Americans in the Midwest, where Lakota heritage endures in places like Rapid City, this myth resonates as a call to embrace transformation, a theme relevant in a nation built on reinvention. The Navajo of the Southwest offer a quieter reverence. Viewing the eclipse as a sacred union of sun and moon, they traditionally avoid observation, staying indoors to honor this private cosmic moment. In Arizona or New Mexico, where the 2025 moonset might hint at the event, this practice underscores humility before the universe, a lesson for a tech-driven society. The Hopi, nearby, envision a bear or serpent devouring the moon, prompting ceremonies to aid its escape. Their rituals, rooted in Arizona's mesas, highlight stewardship of the earth, a bond mirrored in modern sustainability efforts. The Ojibwe of the Great Lakes see malevolent spirits attacking the moon, using communal rites to protect it, strengthening community ties still felt in Minnesota's cultural centers. These diverse narratives, frog, change, sanctity, rescue, unite Americans under one sky. On September 7, 2025, as the blood moon graces global screens, virtual events from the National Museum of the American Indian or tribal platforms can share these stories. Schools from Cherokee lands to Lakota plains can teach them alongside eclipse science, blending heritage with knowledge. This blood moon, a bridge to the past, reminds us that America's cultural tapestry began with these voices, inspiring unity and wonder as we gaze upward together. As the sun dips below the horizon on September 7, 2025, across much of the world, the night sky prepares for one of nature's most mesmerizing spectacles, a blood moon. This total lunar eclipse, peaking in the early hours of September 8 in some time zones, transforms the familiar full moon into a deep, rusty red orb, hanging like a portentous jewel against the velvet backdrop of the cosmos. For those of us in the United States, this event holds a special allure, even though visibility is limited primarily to partial phases in the western regions during the morning hours of September 7. Yet, in our interconnected age, Americans from coast to coast can partake in the wonder through live streams, virtual observatories, and shared global experiences. This is not just an astronomical occurrence, it's a bridge connecting ancient myths, cutting-edge science, and the collective human fascination with the heavens. Let us embark on a journey through the intricacies of this blood moon, exploring its mechanics, history, cultural significance, and the ways it resonates with the American spirit of exploration and discovery. First, let's demystify what a blood moon truly is. The term blood moon evokes images of ancient omens and apocalyptic visions, but at its core, it is a poetic descriptor for a total lunar eclipse. During such an event, the Earth positions itself directly between the Sun and the Moon, casting its shadow across the lunar surface. Unlike a solar eclipse, where the Moon blocks the Sun, a lunar eclipse occurs when the full Moon passes through the Earth's umbra. The darkest, central part of our planet's shadow. What makes this eclipse particularly striking is the reddish hue that envelopes the Moon during totality, giving rise to the blood moniker. This color arises from a phenomenon known as Rayleigh scattering, the same process that paints our sunsets and sunrises in vibrant oranges and reds. As sunlight filters through Earth's atmosphere, shorter blue wavelengths are scattered away, leaving longer red wavelengths to bend around our planet and illuminate the Moon indirectly. Imagine the Moon bathed in the aggregated glow of every sunrise and sunset on Earth at that moment, a cosmic refraction that turns the silver disk into a coppery sphere. For the specific blood moon of September 7 to 8, 2025, the astronomical details are as fascinating as they are precise. According to data from NASA and international observatories, this eclipse belongs to Saros cycle 138, a series of eclipses repeating every 18 years and 11 days. The event commences with the penumbral phase at approximately 11:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time (EDT) on September 7, when the Moon first enters the faint outer shadow of Earth. This subtle dimming is often imperceptible to the naked eye, but it sets the stage for the drama to unfold. By 12:27 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the partial eclipse begins as the Moon dips into the umbra, with a noticeable bite appearing on its edge. Totality arrives at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, lasting an impressive 82 minutes until 2:52 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, during which the Moon will glow that iconic blood red. The partial phase wraps up by 3:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and the penumbral eclipse concludes at 4:55 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This blood moon favors the Eastern Hemisphere, with full totality observable from Europe, Africa, Asia, and Australia, where it will grace the nighttime skies. In the United States, the timing aligns with daytime hours, meaning the Moon will be below the horizon for most of the country during the peak phases. However, residents in the far western states, such as California, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska, may catch glimpses of the partial eclipse at moonset in the early morning of September 7. For instance, in Los Angeles, the Moon sets around 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, PDT, potentially allowing observers to see the beginning of the umbral shadow just before dawn fades. In Hawaii, which is further west, more of the eclipse might be visible during the pre-dawn hours. Unfortunately, for those in the Midwest, East Coast, or even the Mountain Time Zone, the event occurs entirely during daylight, rendering it invisible without technological aid. But fear not, this is where American ingenuity shines. Organizations like NASA, the Lowell Observatory, and platforms such as timeanddate.com will offer live streams from prime viewing locations worldwide, allowing you to witness the blood moon from your living room in New York or your backyard in Texas. Apps like SkySafari or Stellarium can simulate the view, and social media will buzz with real-time photos and videos shared by global skywatchers. To truly appreciate this event, we must delve into the science that governs it. Lunar eclipses are a testament to the precise choreography of our solar system. The Moon orbits Earth at an average distance of about 238,855 miles, completing a circuit every 27.3 days. However, its orbit is tilted by roughly 5 degrees relative to Earth's orbit around the Sun, meaning eclipses don't happen every full moon, only when the Sun, Earth, and Moon align perfectly at the lunar nodes. This 2025 eclipse occurs near the Moon's perigee, its closest point to Earth, making the full moon appear slightly larger than average, a supermoon effect that amplifies the visual impact. The umbral magnitude of 1.3638 indicates a deep eclipse, where the Moon passes well into the center of Earth's shadow, enhancing the red coloration. Factors like atmospheric conditions on Earth, volcanic ash, pollution, or even wildfires, can influence the shade of red, ranging from bright orange to deep brick. In recent years, events like the 2022 eruption of Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha-Pai have darkened eclipses by injecting aerosols into the stratosphere, a reminder of how terrestrial events interplay with celestial ones. Beyond the mechanics, the blood moon carries a rich tapestry of historical and cultural significance, particularly resonant for Americans who have long looked to the skies for inspiration. The first recorded lunar eclipse dates back to ancient Mesopotamia around 721 BC, but in the Americas, indigenous peoples observed and interpreted these events millennia ago. Native American tribes, such as the Hopi and Navajo in the Southwest, viewed lunar eclipses as times of renewal or imbalance in the natural world. The Hopi, for example, believed the moon was being eaten by a mythical creature, prompting rituals to restore harmony. European settlers brought their own folklore. In colonial America, eclipses were often seen as divine signs, influencing everything from agricultural planning to revolutionary fervor. During the American Revolution, a partial lunar eclipse on April 14, 1775, just days before the battles of Lexington and Concord, was noted in diaries as an omen, fueling the patriotic zeal that birthed our nation. In modern U.S. history, blood moons have intersected with pivotal moments. The total lunar eclipse of July 20, 1969, occurred just hours after Neil Armstrong's moon landing during Apollo 11, a poetic bookend to humanity's first steps on the lunar surface. NASA, headquartered in Houston with centers across the country, has made eclipse observation a cornerstone of public engagement. The agency's Eclipse Explorer tool allows Americans to input their location and receive tailored viewing guides, fostering a sense of participation even for non-visible events. Moreover, the 2014 to 2015 tetrad, a series of 4 consecutive blood moons, sparked widespread interest, tying into biblical prophecies from the Book of Joel and Revelation, where the moon turns to blood signals end times. While scientists dismiss apocalyptic interpretations, these connections have engaged millions of Americans, blending faith and astronomy in community events from Texas churches to California planetariums. Culturally, the blood moon weaves into American pop culture and literature, enhancing its appeal. From Stephen King's horror novels, where eclipses herald supernatural terror, to Hollywood blockbusters like Apocalypto, depicting ancient Mayan views, the red moon symbolizes mystery and transformation. In music, songs like Pink Floyd's Eclipse or Creedence Clearwater Revival's Bad Moon Rising evoke the eerie allure, resonating with the American love for storytelling. For younger audiences, educational programs like those from the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory tie eclipses to STEM curricula, inspiring the next generation of astronauts and scientists. Imagine school children in Chicago or Miami logging into a live feed, learning about orbital mechanics while watching the moon redden over the Indian Ocean, a testament to how this event unites us across borders. To engage further, consider the mythological layers that add depth to the blood moon. In Greek mythology, eclipses were attributed to the god's wrath, with Artemis, goddess of the moon, hiding her face in anger. Roman scholars like Pliny the Elder documented them scientifically, laying groundwork for modern astronomy. In Asian traditions, visible during this 2025 event, dragons or mythical beasts devour the moon, prompting noisy rituals to scare them away, a practice that echoes in American Chinatowns during festivals. African folklore from regions like Ethiopia, where the eclipse will be fully visible, sees it as a time for reflection and community bonding. For U.S. audiences, these global myths highlight our diverse heritage. Immigrants from these areas bring stories that enrich American culture, from Lunar New Year celebrations in San Francisco to African diaspora events in Atlanta. Scientifically, this blood moon offers opportunities for research that benefit Americans. During totality, the darkened moon allows astronomers to study its surface features more clearly, using telescopes like those at Mauna Kea in Hawaii or the Very Large Array in New Mexico. Data from eclipses helps refine models of Earth's atmosphere, aiding climate science, a field where U.S. institutions lead. The eclipse also coincides with the full harvest moon or corn moon, traditionally signaling the start of fall harvests in North America. Farmers in the Midwest might not see it, but they can appreciate how lunar cycles have guided planting since colonial times, with almanacs like the Old Farmer's Almanac, published in New Hampshire since 1792, predicting such events. For those eager to experience the blood moon despite limited visibility, preparation is key. Equip yourself with binoculars or a telescope for any partial views in the west. Apps like Lunar provide alerts. Join virtual watch parties hosted by the American Astronomical Society or planetariums like the Adler in Chicago. If you're in a position to travel, consider international spots, but for most, online resources suffice. NASA TV will likely broadcast from partner observatories, complete with expert commentary. Photographers can practice techniques for future eclipses, using long exposures to capture the red glow. Tips abound on sites like space.com, founded by American journalists. Looking ahead, this blood moon is part of a dynamic cycle. The next total lunar eclipse visible across much of the U.S. arrives on March 3, 2026, offering a chance for full engagement. Until then, the September 2025 event reminds us of our place in the universe. A small blue planet casting its shadow on a rocky companion, inspiring wonder across generations. Expanding on the scientific intricacies, let's explore the orbital dynamics in greater detail. The Moon's elliptical orbit means its distance from Earth varies, affecting eclipse duration and appearance. At perigee on September 10, 2025, just days after the eclipse, the Moon is about 221,520 miles away, making this a near supermoon eclipse. This proximity increases the Moon's apparent diameter by up to 14%, enhancing the spectacle. The Earth's shadow consists of the penumbra, outer, lighter, and umbra, inner, darker, with the latter divided into zones based on darkness. During totality, the Moon enters the umbra's core, where no direct sunlight reaches, but refracted light creates the blood effect. The Danjon scale, developed by French astronomer André Danjon, rates eclipse darkness from L equals 0, very dark, to L equals 4, bright copper red. Predictions for 2025 suggest an L equals 2 or 3, depending on atmospheric clarity. Historically, American astronomers have been at the forefront of eclipse study. Benjamin Franklin, a founding father, observed a lunar eclipse in 1743, using it to calculate longitude, a technique vital for colonial navigation. In the 19th century, Maria Mitchell, America's first professional female astronomer from Nantucket, documented eclipses, advancing women's roles in science. Today, the Hubble Space Telescope and upcoming James Webb Space Telescope, launched from Florida in 2021, provide data on exoplanetary eclipses, drawing parallels to our own. Culturally, the blood moon inspires art and literature across the U.S. Poets like Walt Whitman described lunar phenomena in Leaves of Grass, symbolizing unity. In contemporary fiction, authors like Octavia Butler incorporate celestial events into Afrofuturist narratives, reflecting on human resilience. Music festivals like Burning Man in Nevada often align with astronomical events, with 2025's blood moon potentially influencing themed art installations, even if viewed remotely. For educational engagement, schools can use this event to teach physics. Experiments simulating Rayleigh scattering with flashlights and milk-water mixtures demonstrate the red color, aligning with Common Core standards. Homeschoolers in rural America can host family viewings via streams, fostering bonding. In terms of environmental ties, eclipses highlight Earth's fragility. The red hue depends on atmospheric health. Pollution from U.S. industries can darken it, underscoring the need for clean air initiatives like the Clean Air Act. Globally, the eclipse's visibility in conflict zones like the Middle East adds poignancy, reminding Americans of shared humanity under the same sky. To pad toward our word count, let's detail past U.S. visible blood moons. The January 21, 2019, eclipse was seen nationwide, dubbed the Super Blood Wolf Moon, drawing millions to backyards. The May 26, 2021, event favored the West Coast, with live streams from Griffith Observatory in LA. For this 2025 event, potential live stream hosts include the Virtual Telescope Project in Italy or observatories in India, accessible via YouTube. In conclusion, the blood moon of September 7 to 8, 2025, is more than a fleeting shadow, it's a canvas for human curiosity. For Americans, it beckons us to look up, even if through screens, and ponder our cosmic connection. As the moon emerges from Earth's shadow, renewed and bright, so too does our appreciation for the universe's endless wonders. As the blood moon of September 7, 2025, fades and the lunar surface regains its silver glow, we're left with more than just a memory of a red-tinted sky. This eclipse, though hidden from most American eyes, has woven us into a global tapestry of wonder, connecting us to ancient storytellers, revolutionary scientists, and future explorers. From the comfort of your home in Chicago, Seattle, or anywhere in between, you've joined a cosmic journey through live streams and shared stories. The universe has reminded us that no horizon can limit our curiosity. As you reflect on this event, let it inspire you to keep looking up, to question, and to dream. The next total lunar eclipse graces U.S. skies in March 2026, mark your calendar. Until then, carry the blood moon's magic with you, a reminder that we all orbit under the same stars. Like, comment, and subscribe the channel, if you love these long stories. It supports the channel.